Appreciate everybody being here. Just reviewing the weekend, it was a pretty typical game against Air Force, and we reviewed the game. We did some things that we were trying to do in the game. We weren't able to do some other things that we were really trying to do, and it really came down to us offensively being able to convert in the first half on third downs and fourth downs to keep drives alive and score and really keep us in the game. Our defense did some good things. Our kids played extremely hard. But it's really interesting, the dynamics of our team. We have some good experienced defensive players that have been playing at a high level. And the dynamic of our offensive team is just the opposite. We have so many young players. It's almost like spring practice for our offensive kids in that they just don't have the experience. A lot of them were in high school in the spring when our other guys are going through spring practice. And so we're playing catch up. And it shows when you play a solid, experienced team like we played on Saturday. We're really excited to come home this week, playing canvas, and really honor our seniors. We have 17 seniors that are going to be playing their last game, and very excited to play well and honor them. It's going to be a Friday game, an afternoon game. It's going to happen quick. It's going to be a fast week. Also have Thanksgiving this week. But we're playing a New Mexico team that has a lot of good athletes on it. When you watch their film, that's one of the things you see how dynamic they are at certain positions. They've struggled as well, similar to us in their record. But I think it's going to be a very competitive day and a very competitive game. They've kind of made some changes offensively. They have a new coordinator. They're kind of a spread option team where they try to run their quarterback and get their athletes in space. Really good running back in Nate Jones, number 25. A very skilled and talented receiver in Gordon Porter, number 8. And then C.J. Monchez got his first start last week at quarterback, and he's an impressive-looking kid. Very athletic, strong arm. Was in his first start. We may see a couple of quarterbacks in this game, so really got to be prepared for that. Defensively, Coach Gonzalez and Rocky Long do an amazing job with that defense. Very difficult. A lot of blitzing, a lot of stunning. We've played against them for years at San Diego State and now New Mexico. Just have to be really dialed into where people are and being able to block movement against these guys. Really excellent linebacker in Cody Moon. A.J. Halsey is their Lobo. He's kind of a hybrid player that plays in the middle of the field, plays safety, but ends up coming down linebacker depth. He's a guy that our quarterbacks and our centers really got to ID. And then Jarek Reed, number 9, is really active safety who does an amazing job. I mentioned our seniors. We have 17 seniors that are going to be honored this weekend. A handful of those guys do have an extra year of eligibility and possibly will return next year. But really want to honor these kids. I made them stand up in the team meeting today, and I just think sometimes it gets overlooked what student athletes do to complete 4 to 5 years of eligibility and play a college sport. They've been through a lot of changes, a couple different coaches, a lot of them. A lot of them have had a lot of adversity over their careers, a lot of injury over their careers. 12 of the 17 are already graduated or working on a master's degree. And we've got one man that it's probably the first time in my career, Michael Boyle, who's going to be completing his doctorate in the spring in computer science. So, these kids are really, they really need to be recognized, and we want to do that on Friday, and really acknowledge their hard work and their sacrifice and their dedication. And where there are so many examples of guys that aren't following through, that are quitting, that aren't doing what they're supposed to do, I just think we need to acknowledge these kids that have really sacrificed and worked hard to finish their careers and to graduate. So really looking forward to Friday.
A lot of these guys that you talked about as seniors are guys that you inherited. What have they meant to you as you in your first year to try to establish something?
I'm just very proud of them. I think we've gotten really great, honest work from those guys and great dedication to the program. I just was talking to Daquan Jackson on the field, and Daquan's an excellent student, a guy who's really taken advantage of his education. And he's also taken advantage of his football playing here at CSU. And he's tried really hard to be a great example to the younger players. And I just feel like you need to acknowledge that. And the guy's really been a great example in tough times. And he's committed to this university, and he's committed to this program. And I think that should be recognized. And I told our younger players, you have a responsibility to guys like Daquan. And really the greatest gift you can give them is to give them great attention, great preparation this week, and play well on Friday.
I did notice out of practice today, it seems like the entire team's here. That hasn't always been the case in the past, like some younger players leave. Was that important for you to have the entire team out through this week?
I'm not sure what you mean by that.
So like in years past, other programs have had like freshmen that live close by, they could go home.
Oh,
or
yeah.
Some guys would stay, or guys that
Yeah.
live far away could go home and see their families. It seems like your entire team's
Yes.
here.
Yeah, everybody's here. And that's great that you mentioned that. Thanksgiving and Christmas are great holidays, but they just happen to fall during football season. And so, yeah, the rest of the student body's off this week. There's no classes. And but our guys are all here working. Guys that are walk-ons, guys that wouldn't normally travel. All the freshmen, and so and I think that just kind of shows what these athletes do. They work through the holidays, they practice through the holidays. They sacrifice that family time, but everybody's here, and we've got some kind of special things planned for them. They're bowling today. I think they got a bowling tournament today and tomorrow. Coach Simmons is taking all the guys bowling, and we're feeding them, and just some good team morale building. We'll have Thanksgiving dinner on Wednesday and Thursday at the hotel, and so we'll just try to spend some time together this week and really get closer as a team.
Obviously you watch tape on him and game plan and stuff before you're here, but what's it been like, since you got here, learning about him as a person?
I just think it's been great getting to know each other. The captains, we really spend a lot of time just talking about everything that's important and leadership and all the qualities of great leaders and examples of great leadership. And Daquan is really taking that seriously. And I just think it's going to serve him well for the rest of his life. And he's also serving the younger players, because there's a lot of kids that see how he handles himself, and they learn how to handle themselves in tough situations when things aren't going well, when you're not feeling 100%. And that's what life's all about. I mean, you have to learn how to work through those situations, and you learn by watching other people go through it, And so I just can't say enough about his leadership and how he's accepted the coaching that we've been. And the other thing I think, this group we've had challenges. We're down about 25 guys on our roster, and the extra strain that's put on them to practice. Guys got to make up for each other. They don't have subs that can come in. And it's also, affected our execution. One of the most important things that you can have on a team is competition. And even our older players that are playing a lot, they haven't benefited from having that competition, where you have to do things right all the time, and or you're going to be standing next to coach and there's somebody else is going to be in your spot. And so there's just been a lot of ripple effects to having our roster affected by the guys that departed. And we'll it's my responsibility and our staff's to rectify that and to get quality players in here. But he's been amazing. Daquan has been a great example, and our other seniors, Cam Carter, all the guys that have been here a long time, just appreciate their buy-in.
For those guys that do, the seniors
Yeah, I had started some of those already. Yeah, there's some guys that we, and I think one of the things with COVID um, and some of the transfer stuff, players have choices. I mean, they have a lot of choices, and some of these guys have been in school a long time. Some of them have families, some of them have kids and wives. Um, and they have some decisions to make. Do they want to stay? Do they want to take their opportunity in the NFL? Do they want to go work? A lot of them already have their degrees, and so there's some that we would definitely love to have come back. They can make a real contribution to our program with their experience, and those conversations have already started. I've already started working. Some of the best recruits you can get are the guys that are already on your team. So we want to retain all those guys.
Do you have like a deadline, so to speak, of when you would like those answers?
No, I think obviously we'll talk this week, and then next week we'll have exit meetings with all of our coaches. I'll have a team meeting next week, and then all our coaches will talk to each player and just kind of have exit meetings. Where do you stand on the team? Where do we see you in the future? And that's really important. I just I've learned a lot from being in the National Football League and being around general managers and I mean, the most important thing that I have to do as a head coach is manage the roster. I mean, we have to have quality players from top to bottom. We have to have competition, and we have to have people with the right mindset that are willing to work. I was talking to Troy Calhoun before the game on Saturday night, and the most important thing is to get people that want to work, that want to practice, that want to be good and be a part of a team. And so as we look for people to fill this roster with, we're looking for people that want to work, that want to be part of a team, and that want to compete. You can't have a great program if you don't have great competition within your program. And we don't have that right now. We have some guys that can get us through games, but we don't have guys behind them pushing them and making them the very best they can be. And when you have competition, now you can really put the screws on accountability and assignment sound and not making foolish errors. And we don't have that competition right now.
When you look, Clay's set to break the school record for completion percentage. When you look at completion, there's different levels to it, isn't it? He's very accurate with his deep ball, and how accurate is he in terms of catchable balls for receivers to allow them to make plays? How do you see him as an accurate quarterback?
Everything that we do with a quarterback is to throw catchable balls, and we say we want everything shoulder to shoulder, and so when the ball is thrown, you need to throw it where a guy can catch it and be in stride. Every quarterback has their own personality, and I mean, we had a guy at Nevada, Carson. He was a gunslinger. Now he wanted to throw every ball deep. Clay's a little bit different. He's a little bit more cautious, which is a good thing. And but he can throw the ball very accurately down the field and deep, and that's a great quality to have. And I think some of his carefulness has got him in trouble a little bit with the pass rush. He's taken a couple sacks because he doesn't want to put the ball in danger, and so we just got to work through that with him. But I just think he's off to a great start. One of the reasons. We love to throw the football, and we can make the decision to throw it because if he's completing at a 70% clip, most of the time when he lets it go, something good is going to happen, and that's the way it was with Carson, and so I think we got a great start with him. He learned so much this year. He's gotten hurt. He's taken some shots, but he's always competed. He competed right down to the end Saturday. And now you can see your young playmakers start to make plays. Jordan Williams makes a big play. Lewis Brown did some good things. Justice Ross Simmons had a good game. And, once those guys start growing up and maturing and can compete consistently, that's another issue. We got guys, freshman receivers running around, and they got nobody behind them to push them, and so they just don't understand the urgency. So I don't mean to skip around on you, but Clay's on his way. He's on his way.
It leads me into the thing, because I talked to Clay about it too. You've got, I think he's been fairly happy with his growth, though he wants to do a lot of things better. But he's had to grow with a Jordan Williams, with an LB.
Right.
With a Justice Ross Evans. Is that part of the excitement is you've got 4 very core guys that you look at for the future of this offense growing together?
Absolutely. It makes you excited. And Anna Keegan-Hamilton, who's a freshman center, and when you have freshmen snapping as freshmen, it's kind of like baseball. You want to be strong up the middle, pitcher, catcher, center fielder. But when those guys are all inexperienced and all going through different learning experiences, it's just inconsistent. And so, but no, it's very exciting to have all those guys have game experience, quality game experience, that they will learn from. And we just need reinforcements. We got a whole class that we're short on right now. And, with those reinforcements, I think we could see a big jump in our improvement.
It's obvious that you have a lot of transfers on this team, and there are plenty of them that have a lot of eligibility left, but there are some that, this is going to be their final college game this weekend, plenty of them on the offensive line. How important is it for you to honor those guys as well that chose to come here just for 1 year, and it hasn't been the easiest, but also they still had an impact on the program?
It's very difficult to transfer and to start all over again if you've ever had to move and start a new job. There's so many new things that you have to learn and understand and have your teammates understand you. And yeah, we've got 3 starters in our offensive line that are seniors playing their last game. They've made an incredible contribution to us, and they've all had to play hurt this year. And we really couldn't line up and even play a game without these kids here. And we don't have anybody really to put in behind them right now. And so, those guys, Dante Keys and Dante Bivens, they've been starters at their respective schools. Gray Davis, he's played more snaps than anybody on our football team. Okay. And so those guys have kind of quietly done their job, but made a huge contribution to us, our ability to play. And they're leaving their legacy. They're coaching up these freshmen. Right now on our offensive line, we have seniors and freshmen. And so their help when the 2s go in, it's a whole rookie lineup. But those older guys are constantly coaching them and giving them pointers and helping them understand. And so, I just really appreciate their contribution, and they've done an amazing job. And we'd like to send them out with a win on Friday.
Are you going to bowl?
I'm sorry?
Are you going to bowl?
Am I going to bowl? No, I got a game plan. We play Friday, so it's going to be a quick week.